here's more wrestling news for October 10th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include: Big Name officially returns to pro wrestling after a long gap. How did Jon Moxley and Matt Cardona fare at GCW Fight Club? Karrion Kross wants to team with Scarlett to face Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Big E pumps up crowd in epic fashion for Fox College Football on game day. Randy Orton and Kurt Angle's wives have something going on. Awesome Kong announced for induction into Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. Roman Reigns merchandise sales at the level of WWE legend. Former WWE wrestler makes surprise appearance at GCW Fight Club. Big E brings the power to Tyson Fury vs. Deontay Wilder 3 fight, and more. We're kicking off today with Cain Velasquez, who briefly joined WWE in 2019 facing Brock Lesnar at that year's Crown Jewel, and the fighter-turned-wrestler is now getting back into the ring. This December, the former UFC heavyweight champion will return to Triple H, though neither the name of the event nor Velasquez's match has been announced. Velasquez worked for AAA at Triple Mania in 2019 before signing for WWE, where he would lose his only televised fight to the then WWE champion Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia. Quietly released from WWE at the start of 2020, Velasquez's return to wrestling has been a long time coming, and fans will get the chance to see him this December in AAA. GCW news now, as Jon Moxley has successfully defended his GCW World title against Nick Gage. Meeting in a death match at GCW Fight Club, the match saw an appearance by Mick Foley before the bell rang, who spoke about his love for hardcore wrestling. With Foley on commentary for the rest of the show, Moxley and Gage went at it, using light tubes, barbed wire tables, and pizza cutters to inflict damage. Ultimately, it was Moxley who stood tall, hitting the paradigm shift off the top rope, dropping Gage onto his head and into a ring littered with shards of glass in a truly hardcore way to end this hellacious death match. Matt Cardona was also in action at GCW Fight Club and regained his internet title from Effie. Losing the title on September 24th thanks to a distraction and a roll-up, the former WWE superstar put his career on the line for a shot at regaining the title. Just as it looked like Effie would win, a hooded figure pulled the match's second referee out of the ring before hitting the champion with 2 low blows. This allowed Cardona to hit his finisher and win the title, and the masked person was revealed to be Matt's fiancée, Chelsea Green, who he shared a kiss with before leaving the ring. Fans were furious at this finish and the fact that Cardona's GCW career is intact, and the company now has a new power couple on its roster. Over to Raw now, as Karrion Kross has had a strange time since being called up earlier this year, but he's had to appear without his fiancée, Scarlett Bordeaux. Earlier this week, the two-time former NXT champion teased Scarlett's call-up, saying that they're waiting for something to finish first before they're reunited, and in the meantime, Scarlett has been training like cray before she gets back in the ring. Speaking to WWE Deutschland, Kross continued to tease Scarlett's main roster call-up and was asked about what high-profile match he'd love to have when he and Scarlett are back together on screen. "I don't like leading people into stuff. I feel like it's sort of a cheap way to do things. But if you're asking, I would say Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Under the right circumstances and the right place and the right time, I think if something like that could happen, I think we could all blow the roof off the place. I really do." Triple H's last match was earlier this year, but that only happened when Drew McIntyre was unavailable, and it's been over 3 years since Stephanie's last match. With both Kross and Scarlett coming from NXT, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Triple H would want to work with the two on the main roster, and time will tell if Kross gets his wish and if this mixed tag team match ever happens. From one Raw superstar to another, as Big E is having a ton of fun as WWE champion, and his excitement isn't just limited to the ring. During a Saturday morning Fox show, the champ showed up for their football coverage and brought the excitement to Iowa City. In a tweet from the official Fox College Football account, they said how Big E's enthusiasm made them feel ready to run through a brick wall, and he certainly motivated the Iowa Hawkeyes, who beat the Penn State Nittany Lions 23-20 in NCAA football. Big E is having a lot of fun, but he'll have to get serious for Crown Jewel, where he'll be facing a very game Drew McIntyre with the title on the line on October 21st. Now, the wrestling world has seen many unlikely pairings over the years, and now the wives of two legends of the ring are working on a project of their own. On Twitter, Kurt Angle announced that his wife Giovanna is working on a new project with Randy Orton's wife Kim, but kept quiet about what this project actually is, instead saying, "Big news, things are coming." There's no word on what the project could be, but if it's a podcast, then we're sure that Giovanna and Kim would have plenty of stories from the unique careers their husbands share. We'll have to wait and see what Mrs. Angle and Mrs. Orton do, but something is in the works for the wives of the two former WWE champions. Over to Impact, as for years Awesome Kong was the dominant force of their Knockouts division, and she's now being celebrated for her achievements in the company. During the recent Knockouts Knockdown event, it was confirmed that Kong will be the next inductee into the Impact Hall of Fame. This induction is a long time coming, as in 2017, Gail Kim said that Kong needs to be inducted, and after 4 years, the former Knockouts champion will take her place alongside Kim, Kurt Angle, Sting, and many more deserving names as an Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer. Over to SmackDown, as today marks day 406 of Roman Reigns' second tenure as Universal Champion, and that isn't the only impressive stat to his name. According to sources in WWE, Reigns is a top merchandise seller, and his numbers are hitting the same level as John Cena during his peak years in WWE. Not only that, but Reigns has surpassed every heel in the company's history when it comes to the amount of merchandise sold, and in a company with some of wrestling's most dastardly yet popular villains, none of them hold a candle to the head of the table. In the 2021 WWE Draft, Hit Row were called up to SmackDown in a huge moment for the impressive stable. So far, the group hasn't appeared on TV, though they will when the draft picks come into effect after Crown Jewel, but Hit Row are already impressing some very important people. Speaking on the Jobbing Out podcast, Top Dollar discussed the group's appearance in a dark segment prior to last week's SmackDown, and the words of encouragement he received from a certain Hall of Famer. "I came back through the curtain and Edge tells me, 'This is what we need. This is 2021. This is today's wrestling. This is what we need.' To hear Edge say that to me? Wow." As a 23-year veteran of WWE, Edge has seen a lot of stables come and go, and has been in plenty of groups himself, and we'll have to wait and see if Hit Row can live up to these expectations in the coming years after being praised by the Hall of Famer. More from GCW Fight Club now, as Thunder Rosa and the Briscoes all made surprise appearances at last night's event. In a scramble match, Rosa got involved, making it a 7-person match that was ultimately won by Jimmy Lloyd, whilst the Briscoes confronted GCW Tag Team Champions Mance Warner and Matthew Justice. This confrontation occurred after Warner said that no team could beat them, and we'll have to see if the Briscoes can do just that in the inevitable title match between the two teams. And we're ending with more from Big E, as the WWE Champion brought the power to this week's fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Introducing Wilder for his walkout, Big E had nothing but praise for Deontay in his third match with Fury, and was also ringside to take in the action. This fight, billed as Once and For All, saw Fury retain his WBC Heavyweight Championship in the 11th round, but for many wrestling fans tuning in, it was the WWE Champion's pre-fight promo that was the highlight of the night. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.